All right, it's time to go over our top 10 tight end rankings for week 14. We're getting right into the video. Coming here at number 10, we're going Tucker Kraft. And I know you guys already saw the game that happened yesterday. We are recording this, though, earlier in Thursday before the game. But let me kind of give you my pointers because, I mean, I've got two tight ends that are in my top 10 this week that are playing yesterday. So you already know the results before you even watch this video. But I had to put these guys in my top 10. Let me kind of make my case. Tucker Kraft this week, they were taking on the Lions. They rank first against opposing tight ends, but I think he's going to be very involved. He's going to be very involved into this matchup. Running with Dubes was ruled out, so look for Jaden Reed to be way more involved. I think the tight end position, Tucker Kraft, gets more involved. Even though they rank number one, it's going to be a very competitive division type of game where you're going to see more opportunities go to everyone. I think there's going to be a lot of offensive firepower on both sides. They can all pass the football and score at points at will at this point. I think Tucker Kraft definitely gets enough to be viable as a top 10 tight end this week. That's why I have him here at number 10 for me here in week 14. We're right along here at number 9. We're going Cade Otton, right? This is a tight end that, you know, I'm not crazy about Cade Otton. Let's just say I haven't been crazy about it all year. I think now once Chris Godwin and Mike Evans were out, Cade Otton was the only option. That's why you saw him blow up so much. Right now that Mike Evans is back, you just don't see much from Cade Otton. He's not, you know, blowing up week in and week out like he was when everybody was out. But this week they do take on a Raiders defense. They rank 30th against opposing tight ends. You know, could he be considered fool's gold at this point? Like I said, he was doing very well. If he's not fool's gold, you're going to see Cade Otton do well in this matchup against a team that really doesn't defend the tight end position very well. So Cade Otton could be a good option for you this week, even though, you know, season long going to the playoffs, I'm not comfortable if I have Cade Otton as my starting tight end. But with all the bye weeks and things that are happening right now, Cade Otton slips into my top 10. I say start him this week, get the guy into your lineup. So move right along here at number 8. We're going Sam Laporta. It's been a while since I had Sam Laporta in my top 10 tight end rankings. And again, you already know what happened. The game happened yesterday, but we are recording this on Thursday. But you know the results from this. I think Sam Laporta could shock a couple people here, right? Jair Alexander is ruled out, the cornerback. That's going to be probably guarding a lot of Amon-Ra St. Brown. I just think overall Sam Laporta is going to just do a good job in getting things together, right? I think he's going to, fantasy football-wise, Gonna get some traction, I would say. I think this is the week that he could do it. They are going against the Packers defense that ranks 24th against opposing tight ends. Will this be the game? He's almost his get-right game, right? We got to know because he hasn't been doing great things so far. So I think Sam Laporta, he could probably do it this week. I know people probably call me a little on the crazy side, but I think Sam Laporta gets the job done. I think overall, you could do worse than putting Sam Laporta into your lineup. It was just last year when he was the number one tight end in fantasy football. I think he does it. He does it this week against the Packers. Get the guy in your lineup. I'm putting my statement on him. You guys already know what happened because by the time you guys are watching this, the game happened yesterday. But it is what it is. So move right along here at number 7. We're going TJ Hawkinson. It's another tight end that it's going to be kind of a juiced up game right now, right? I think it's going to be a lot of fireworks because Kirk Cousins is coming back to town. So everybody's going to wanting to do very well. But the Vikings are taking on a Falcons defense that ranks 19th against opposing tight ends. He's looked really amazing since coming back from his injury. But him, you know, Justin Jefferson, Jordan Addison, a lot of good fantasy football players to be had into this matchup. I think the tight end position there's some points to be had in this matchup at the tight end position. So rock it out. I had to put him up here into my top 10. I mean, he landed here at number 7. Love myself some TJ Hawkinson. Get the guy into your lineup. He's going to score some fantasy points for you this week. Move right along here at number 6. We're going Jonnu Smith. This is one of those tight ends that really is starting to really shock us at this point. We saw him do well last week, or I mean last week too, but last year with the Falcons, he was showing that he can provide some fantasy output. Now he's kind of found himself a home as the number 1 tight end for the Miami Dolphins. Tua Tagovailoa is really looking at Jonnu Smith. He's putting up some really good numbers, but this week they are taking on a Jets defense that does rank 4th against opposing tight ends. He's been surprising all year long, and especially somebody you could have picked up off of waivers. You definitely didn't draft Jonnu Smith. Nobody was really looking for him to be doing what he's doing now. Now going into the fantasy football playoffs, you pretty much got yourself a free fantasy tight end if he was able to scoop this guy up, and you're almost sailing into the sunset at this point. Having a solid fantasy tight end week in and week out, somebody you could depend on, should be able to score a lot of points against this Jets defense, even though they do rank 4th. Pretty good against the tight end. I think overall, the Jets defense is really sucking as of late. Put Jonnu Smith in your lineup. I think you'll be happy that you did. Let's move right here now into our top 5. At number 5, we're going David Njoku. Another one of these tight ends that's really flourishing under with Jameis Winston there, just throwing the football all over the place, throwing 400 yards in a game, definitely over 300 yards in most games. he's catching a lot of his opportunity. He's being almost a first read type of guy. Him and Jerry Jeudy's just doing their thing right now for Cleveland Browns. So this week they are taking on a Steelers defense that ranks 17th against opposing tight ends. He's a huge part of this offense, and the Steelers defense is really good at taking away everybody else on the team. Not as great against the tight end position. So that's why I say, look, David Njoku is somebody you probably want to target into this offense for this week in week 14. I think he puts up plenty of fantasy points for you to help you get a win in week 14. Move right along here. At number 4, we're going Travis Kelce, right? This is a tight end. We all know what he can do. Towards the beginning of the season, I was telling you guys, hey, look, he's going to stay a little slower. And then throughout the season, as it starts getting closer to the NFL playoffs, you're going to see them start to ramp up a little bit more Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce. And that's exactly what you're seeing. This week, they are taking on a Chargers defense that ranks 6th against opposing tight ends. And like I said, they're ramping up for the playoffs. And you see on the other side of the football, you know, Justin Herbert and the Chargers offense, they're starting to put some things together. So they're going to be putting up some points. So the Chiefs are going to need to also put up some points. I think the Chargers are wanting to make a name for themselves in the AFC. And the Chiefs are saying, hey, look, we are still the king dogs, you know, in the AFC, and they want to be able to prove that. So look for Travis Kelce to probably catch himself a touchdown with Patrick Mahomes and really start putting some fantasy points together. Now that you're going into your fantasy football playoffs, if you have Travis Kelce, be confident with him throughout the playoffs for yourself. So move right along here. At number 3, we're going George Kittle. This is one that, like I said all the time, he used to be more of a boom or bust player. Right now, he's more boom than bust. He's kind of almost the last man standing at this point. Everybody on this offense of the 49ers is just going down with injuries. The one person who stayed relatively healthy all season long is George Kittle. This week, they are taking on a Bears defense that ranks 18th against opposing tight ends. He's been a stud all season long. And against this Bears defense, who was a lot better earlier in the season than they were later on in the season, look, I think George Kittle is a smash play this week. I think a Bears team, we don't really know what their identity is. Either they're super, like just struggling, or all of a sudden Caleb Williams plays phenomenal and they blow out a team. So who knows what you're getting when you get played against the Bears. But I do know the 49ers, as long as Brock Purdy is sitting back there, quote unquote, healthy himself, throwing the football, Deebo Samuel, George Kittle, I think they can get the job done, get George Kittle into your lineup. Coming here at number 2, we're going Trey McBride. This is a tight end that's been absolutely going nuclear these last few weeks. He's getting all the targets. He's definitely outshining Marvin Harrison Jr. at this point. But this week they are taking on a Seahawks defense, right? They rank 20th against opposing tight ends. 12 targets last week. And the week before that, he had 15 targets. So, I mean, you're looking at what? 5, 6, 7, 27 targets in 2 weeks? That's crazy to even think about. You got to get Trey McBride into your lineup. He is a top fantasy tight end at this point, and he would easily be number 1 if it wasn't outshined by the rookie over there. But Trey McBride, you got this guy. Set it and forget it. Matchup proof. Don't care what matchup he's going. Just the volume that he's seeing alone is going to propel him to being a top fantasy tight end, probably for years to come at this point. Love myself some Trey McBride. Get him into your lineup. And number 1, we already know it's Brock Bowers. The dude's absolutely phenomenal. We covered him a lot going into the rookie draft, seeing how phenomenal he was. A little bit of an undersized tight end, but his route running ability, his catching ability, really, really good. And for a Raiders offense that's struggling, always in a negative game script, always losing, and have no other wide receiver options other than Jacoby Myers out there to really catch the football, it's all Brock Bowers. A lot of Brock Bowers too. But this week, they do take on a Bucs defense ranks 26th against opposing tight ends. Should still be targeted a ton, right? A Bucs team that's going to probably be winning for most of the time. They're going to be playing catch up. Brock Bowers going against a team that really doesn't stop the tight end very much. Should have a great game. Love myself some Brock Bowers. Easily number 1 for me. Guys, make sure you guys hit a like button. Hit a subscribe button, right? Most of you guys that are watching this video aren't even subscribed. So do yourself a favor, hit a subscribe button, leave a comment down below. Let me know, is there any tight ends in the top 10 that I left out that you believe should be in the top 10 tight ends? Let me know. Guys, we're popping up multiple videos at this point each and every week to best help you set the best lineup possible to ultimately win a championship. Can't wait to see you guys on the next video. We'll see you guys next time.